But the gotcha is that the client has to what, everybody?
Pay the premiums past month.
Very good. Have to pay the premiums for the missing months. All right. Now, another thing that could definitely come up with the test, and this is another one of those I think would be really like always on the test thing, right? Remember the question we had about Mr. Smith? Mr. Smith did not get the medical test done, died before the medical test was done. What are they going to do? Well, you're going to get a question like that, and I've had lots and lots of feedback about that. So I would really expect a question about that on the test, okay? So you need to know what? At what point in time is the person going to be covered? At what point in time is the person going to be covered? So first off, we have the conditional insurability receipt. Now, this is the actual type of receipt that we actually use, which means this is really what the question is going to be about on the test. So with the conditional insurability receipt, that says that if we would have issued the policy anyway, if the person was already considered to be insurable, then we're going to go ahead and pay the claim if they died between the time the application is taken and the time the policy is signed, sealed, and delivered. Now, the first point to know here is what? If we got the application but the client didn't write a check, if there was no check, is the client going to get a receipt? And the answer is obviously not. You only get a receipt when you pay some money. But if the client does write a check on that first appointment, which is why we usually try to get the client to do that, then they're going to be afforded some coverage. That is what? Conditional. Now, they're not going to ask you to figure out if the client is healthy enough to get the policy or not. That's something that's done by the underwriter. They will tell you that. But what you do need to know is at what point in time is the person covered if they are insurable? And that depends. Depends on what, Brian? Depends on whether it's a medical or a non-medical application. So if it's a non-medical application, when is the person covered, everybody? Very good. But if it's a medical application, then the person is covered what, everybody? The day of the test. They're covered the day of the medical test, whatever that day is. But Brian, doesn't it take a little while to get the results of the medical test back?